Thank you so much for joining us on Straight Outta Savannah. My guest, Annalisa Adams, is here, and this is so special to me because not only is she my guest, but she's my sister. And so I'm so grateful to be here with her, and she's going to share who she is, her wisdom and her knowledge, and what she does and how she can help you. Annalisa, take it away.
Hi there. I'm here to help people reclaim their inner wisdom and to step into a soul-led clarity through their lives. And I do this with those who contact me through Channeled Wisdom, which is my company name. I'm an empath. I'm a spiritual intuitive, considered a transformational guide, and I'm an author. I write books, and I'm going to be doing more in the nonfiction area. I'm in the process of getting a doctorate in metaphysical sciences. I've learned that through all my studies and all of my research that I am dedicated to helping others reconnect with their inner wisdom and for them to release old patterns and to awaken their highest potential. I offer different types of readings. I do spiritual life counseling or coaching. It's called coaching. I also do some work in trauma and grief and alcohol recovery as well. But I'm also a healer in that I have recently learned not only have I had this my whole life, I am actually now trained to do healing. And the healing that I do deals with energies and the energies within our cells that need to be released. And this can come from many different ways that energy gets attached to our energies.
So, what drew you to that type of healing? Because there are so many different type of healings, and most of us that have come into this arena have done the Reiki and whatever other things, prana and quantum Reiki, and you name it. We've done it. What actually made you go down this path to that?
There's a couple reasons. One is I didn't necessarily want to be touching anybody. And you, there's just something about that. I would prefer not to deal with a hands-on type healing. Mine is more of a connection with source and the direction of energy to be released. And medical background, a bit varied background of all kinds of different things. But medically, not only personally, but I worked in the field for 10 years as well. I understand what causes different ailments and different diseases and things that occur in the body. So I know where to focus my healing intention. And I know where specifically to say, okay, it's the third vertebra in the neck that needs to be aligned again. So let's do that. And I've done it on myself. I've done it on others, but I can actually realign the spinal column, which is awesome. Because now I don't have to go to a chiropractor.
You got to put the chiropractors out of business.
Seriously.
I don't know about you, but that's like the least favorite place that I like to go. For years, I used to not go because I went to one years ago when I was really young. I was 21, and he was a quack. For worse, after he finished doing whatever he was doing, then
Yeah.
after the 6 weeks or 8 weeks or whatever they do, car accident, and I was like, am I hurting worse after he finished? So after that, I never would go back to another one.
And that's true, though. There are some good ones and some bad ones.
Yeah,
and it's unfortunate that when you do find a bad one, I've had good ones. I've had them help me tremendously.
Yeah.
But like I said, now I don't have to go because I say, okay, this is what's happening. I know I've got what's called a whiplash injury from 30 years ago. That still bothers me because I stretched the ligament, not just the muscle, but the ligament stretched. Oh, which I'm not doing surgery, okay, to shorten it again. It is permanently stretched, but I can retrain my muscles to go back into the placement that it needs to be in.
Yeah.
Chiropractors can do that as well, but I've learned to do it myself. So,
Wow. Amazing, Annalisa.
yes,
That's a big bold claim.
it really is. When I did it the first time, it was so surprising to me. I was like, what? Whoa, the pain is gone. What? Wait a minute. But I realized it's just a matter of realigning, releasing tension, releasing pain. And those are energies. Those are all energies. And telling the body what it needs to do to realign itself.
Yes.
And it was just like, this is amazing.
I really want you to go deep on this because this is something that people need. And I know because I have benefited from your blessing, and I definitely call it a blessing because I can see some things and even the conversation that we had yesterday about it. And I was like, oh, I started thinking about it. And as I rested, because we do a lot of work when we sleep.
Yes, we do.
And so I've begun to do that as well. Do like a body scan before I go to bed. Like when I'm in the bed, I scan my body and talk to it and tell myself and my nervous system, give them instructions and stuff like that. So I just feel like this thing though is such, and I don't really feel like it's a breakthrough. I feel like it's just that it's always, and this is what I say. I was telling somebody the other day, I said, it's always been me.
Exactly.
Always been me. I said, but you know what I'm doing now is I'm remembering.
Exactly. It's funny. We were talking about a friend of ours yesterday who I speak to often, and she was giving a reading to me. At that time, I didn't realize what I had within me that I could also do this. And she was speaking to spirit, and she said, she was, I could hear her talking, responding to what spirit was saying to her. And what she said was, no, she doesn't understand she has healing within her hands. She doesn't understand she can heal herself. And from that, I started thinking more and more on what is within me. Because obviously, if it's coming from spirit, it has giant meaning, it's truth. So it started there, and I moved into knowing that I work with energy. I have been doing work with chakra energies for many years now. And with the chakra energies, that's one thing, but that doesn't necessarily apply to, say, arthritis in the hand or a hip alignment or that type of thing. Your chakras are the flow of energy that goes through you. And so, being so involved in the chakras, I started looking into different modalities or different healing methods that would deal with energy. And yes, Reiki is one of them, and it's a good one, but it didn't have all of what I wanted to see. And the modality that I studied, I'm applying that along with everything else that I've learned. So it's not necessarily just one modality that I'm working with. I've combined my knowledge from all the different areas that I've learned. And it's funny you should ask this because I've actually decided I'm going to name it as a type of healing because It's unique. Something I can't say it's this type of healing,
But it's
because
you.
it's not. It's me. And it's not me that's doing the healing. I'm just directing the energies.
Yes. I love this. And see, this speaks to the spiritual authority.
Yeah.
Because then once you stepped into that and realized that it was already all within you, and then you just remembered. And the thing,
Exactly.
so many people are so caught up in the labels, the names. Oh, it's called this, and so I'm doing that, or I'm doing. Somebody told me something about some crystal Reiki and some unicorn Reiki or mermaid Reiki or whatever the fuck. And so I was like, you got all these things, but the thing that we have to realize is just what you just said. These are tools that we use.
Exactly.
Doesn't have to. I tell people, yeah, I'm a Reiki master, but do I do that now? Just like you, to me, it was like what people say marijuana is. It was a gateway. It was a gateway to me for energy. Like it was initiation, as we can say, to the energy world. And then after that, then you go and you discover what you like, lines with what you do. And especially,
Right.
we bring all these things back with us from different lives.
Yes.
Because for me, I know that I've been a healer in multiple lives, many lives and different types. Like
Yes.
I was a midwife in one life. I know that there was a life that I was pulled apart, but there's so many different things and so many layers and
I
levels.
was a witch. I was a witch in one or two of my lives. Yes.
Well, yes, because the witch was really, it was an outspoken,
Healer. Yes.
really.
And that's why I'm afraid of putting my head underwater, because I was drowned.
I realized that because I was pulled apart is why I was having some of the gut issues and stuff. And
Oh, yes. In the type of healing that I do, I am addressing, I'm going to go into this only because it is important to know that I'm not just saying, oh, the little cells and the little body parts need to be fixed. No, I mean, they do. But what needs to happen is the energies that are attached or that are the memory of our cells holds the memory of different things. It holds our stress,
yes,
our internal stress by our own physical self.
yeah,
There's internal stress. There's external stress.
yeah,
There is emotional stress.
yeah,
There is what's being called living soul attachment. That is someone that is still alive, that is within a frequency of who we talk with or who we align with or who we are personally connected with.
yeah,
Their energy can be connected as well.
yes,
And then there is also the floating spirit or afterlife of people who have passed that don't want to let go.
we had my grandmother actually had this discussion with us. We were probably like around middle school or something like that. Middle school or early high school, me and my cousin, because we were close. And so he had a guy that was following,
Mhm.
and it was a guy that had passed away at school. And so he told my grandmother about it, and we were all together. And she said, yeah, she said because it was like he got killed. Dead. She said, yes, she said, sometimes souls that don't realize that they're dead when they die like that. She said a lot of times, she said it doesn't typically happen with a lot of people that have cancer and shit like that. They know they're dying. They don't know this and all that. She said usually it's the people that, are snatched out. Ghost, the movie,
Yes.
snatched out, and those people around and stuff. And so she told him that he needed to just tell the guy that he was dead. He didn't block
Mhm.
it. Because grandma said a lot of times they don't know.
Exactly. They don't.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
that was amazing when you think about that part. And you can help them to go as well.
Exactly. And that's another thing is go toward the light, just the type direction. You're opening that door for them to go. And sometimes they're reluctant because they're not sure what's on the other side. They don't know exactly where they fit over there. They know where they fit here, and they've attached to someone because that's the energy that they need to stay here.
So it's almost like a parasite if you think about it.
It is. And you just need to direct them elsewhere. Not be afraid. And we can also give direction that if they don't want to go, because some don't, and they won't, then they belong elsewhere. They don't belong on this person or in this person or in this space. I do space clearing as well. They don't belong in this space either. So they need to go find someplace else to go. But this is the direction that I'm pointing them, is the best direction for them to go.
That is cool.
So there's that type of energy that's attached. There's also the energy of, and I'm doing this from memory because I don't have any notes on this whatsoever. And so I'm going through my listing, my spreadsheet that I've created. There is also the energies of, and wait, before I go there is energies from your animals that have passed as well, animals that are currently with you that may have attached themselves in a way that's detrimental to you in your physical being. And it's not necessarily that they mean harm. A lot of times, like cats are very protective. Dogs are too, but they're a little kind of on a different level. Are protective of your physical self and your energy. And they stay up at night because they're protecting your energy. And so sometimes what they do is they attach their energy to you because they know you need it. But sometimes that energy is not necessary and it does more harm than good. So that energy can be cleared as well. And then you've got the energies, and I hate to say it, and a lot of people don't believe it, and that's fine. But there's what's called demon energy as well.
Yes.
They are around, and they are here. And they are here causing a lot of what's going on. It's evident in what's going on. Yes.
In the world.
And it's for us light workers to not necessarily battle with them, but to show them they are not in charge. They are not the ones that have dominion over us. We are the light. And we don't put up shit. Hey,
I was thinking as you were saying that, I was like, they not like us.
nope.
They're not like us.
Nope.
And they're not in charge. And I used to say it when I was a little girl, you're not the boss of me.
Exactly. And they're not. It's only if you allow them to be.
Let's talk about that. Because that is the thing. You know, so many people give away and outsource their power.
Yes.
But
you have to allow it.
And somebody, she was talking about some kind of demon thing or whatever. And I said, she said, you have that problem? I said, no. Because I don't allow that. Something that can be in my awareness, in my energy. I said, so no.
I will say that I have had, especially when I was having more health issues. But once I realized it, I realized where it was coming from, and I cast that demon out. Yeah. Those health issues went away. But the thing is, I was allowing it before. When I finally said, oh, no more, no more of this, it left. That energy left. Because I was no longer satisfying to attach to, because I was like, what's that? Magnets that repel each other. It was just like, you're not going to come around here anymore.
You're not going to open up and give you space.
And that frame of thought applies not just to demons, but it also applies to so many other things. if you allow things to come into your energy or into your frequency that draws it down, it, I hate to say it, but a lot of what happens to us is our own damn fault. You know what I'm saying? It's based on our belief systems, belief of our own.
Subconscious programming.
Exactly.
When we,
Exactly.
with where so many of us are stuck in the matrix. And I hate to break it to them, but times are changing.
Mhm.
Times are changing, and you either got to change with it or get left.
And if you don't like where you are, change it. If you don't like what's happening to you, change it.
Because you can change anything, you can shift anything, you can heal.
Exactly. You can manifest. You can bring into your life everything and anything you want based on your frequency. But if your frequency is repelling anything that is coming to you, you're never going to get it because that frequency is just not of the higher frequency that is necessary.
Absolutely. It just brought that song by En Vogue out. Never gonna get it, never gonna get it.
Yes. Yeah.
I just
Oh,
so grateful to spirit
yes.
station because
The other types of energies that are connected are things like your past memories. I haven't addressed yet the subconscious memories. I'm talking about things you consciously remember. Those energies can be attached as well and causing issues. And if you keep thinking about those issues or those energies from that experience or that memory of what happened, it just continually brings down your frequency, brings down your energies, and causes physical damage.
that is something that I hope people have grabbed that. I hope they snagged that.
I hope so.
Because people is it's a shame in our society, but it seems like people just love to keep and hang on to these sicknesses, illnesses, and even things that I was diagnosed with. You know what I say?
Yeah.
Diagnosed with this thing. That
Doesn't mean I need to keep it.
right. I'm like, no, it's
Yeah.
not funny. And even my doctor told me, oh, you're pre-diabetic. I said, no, I'm not. She said, you're pre-diabetic.
The other thing, illnesses, is a lot of times people don't want to be free of it.
No, they don't.
They don't want to be free of the pain and the illness and the sickness because they don't know any better. They don't,
For that, it gets them
they don't,
attention. So
exactly.
you got wives who they can't get attention from their husband unless they're sick. Husband can't get attention once he's sick. Friends, same thing. They don't
Yes,
get
yes.
attention unless they're sick. Realize that if you're sick, then you can get attention. Somebody's going to say something to you. Yes. Because when do you put yourself down and just say, I'm going to rest, unless you're feeling poorly? You know,
Exactly.
just saying, no, what? No.
Yeah.
I feel like I did that for me because I, like you, have worked like a mule.
That's right.
I'm trying to think. I now think I worked less than 2 jobs for about 3 decades. And usually sometimes 4. One time I worked 5 freaking places at the
Oh,
when I think about it, I'm like, I don't know how I even did all that. It's like now I give myself permission, even if I feel good. Sometimes I just wait.
and sometimes before you start to realize that, you are trained basically. That's what you're supposed to do. I retired last year. I did an early retirement. It took me 8 months to retrain my whole frequency, my whole system to understand that it's about me now. It's not about me getting up and out the door by 5:30 because I've got to be at my work by 7. I literally had to retrain my thought processes, my whole connection with who I am
Yes.
on the inside and on the outside.
So you just summed up my whole thing. You had to retrain and step into your authority. So you stepped
Right.
into your spiritual authority and you reinvented yourself.
Exactly.
And that is the most amazing thing because I can see the difference. I saw the shift, I was like, oh my God, look at this girl. And it made because just like you said, other people can see who you are before you can look,
Yes.
especially when you're evolving.
Because I remember you said something to me once and I was like, really? Me?
You,
Let's go.
yes, you.
Yep.
So it's just a natural evolution. And especially we should all get there. But people have to,
Oh, yeah.
like you said, you got to believe.
Exactly.
Well, I spent so much time in the church, but what I realized about myself was when I started doing this work on me, I realized that I was an unbelieving believer for decades. I went to church, I prayed, and I paid my money and did all the things that you do. And I worked in the ministry with the children. I did the prayer ministry on the phone. I used to pray with people on the phone. I did the, God, I don't even know, the choir and all these other kind of things. Worked the nursing ministry. I did it.
Yes.
Things, but I realized that I didn't really believe because I didn't really see at that time. Like when I was
Right.
younger, I saw miracles, so I believed.
Yeah.
I saw people's legs grow out. I seen it. I seen stuff that a lot of kids probably never saw. There
Hmm.
was a little bit of that.
Yeah.
Seen my grandmother help this woman. She was anorexic. When she came, she was probably less than 100 pounds,
Mhm.
probably about 5'8". Yeah. So she brought this woman in and she helped her. She taught her how to pray. She helped her to heal and to work through the subconscious things in her mind, which she didn't know that's what she was doing
Mhm.
at that time. She didn't know.
Yeah.
She just was doing what God directed her to do.
Exactly.
And
So,
so I know that world. That's why I said,
and just something really important that I need to say here. When we say God, it we're addressing not just the perception of what God is, of an older man with a big long beard and a staff directing everybody where to go. No,
or Morgan
when
Freeman.
when we're talking about God, we're talking about source, universal consciousness,
Yes.
the energy that created all of us, all of the planets, all of the everything. It's the consciousness of the universe.
The creator of all there is.
It's
It's so amazing when you think about it because when you really feel into those energies, you get like buzzy, like I'm feeling right now.
yes, yes,
And then when you're at that space, because even in this world, never came across, okay, let me say this. I came across few people that actually believe in what they're doing.
right,
You know
right.
what I'm saying? And I don't know, but I can feel it.
There are so many subjects that we're touching on here that we could go on for hours. You and I could talk forever, but I know we have to pull it back in again.
Say we don't land the plane, but you finish your thought.
There's, do we need to quit?
Well,
Okay. I'm just saying that there are so many subjects that we're touching on here that really deserve more attention,
oh yeah,
deserve more energy in explaining and sharing what that means, what those mean, our beliefs, our subconscious thought patterns, our programming, everything that we're just touching on has so much more that needs to be touched on. I could go on forever, but I do know that we're pulling this into more of what we're supposed to. I just wanted to finish out that listing of the healing. Since we are basically doing the healing, we stopped at our past memories, but there's also the past life memories that come over with us, with our soul, every time we incarnate here on the earth. So there's the past life memories that get stuck as well. And we need to release the energies that have come along with those past lives and the past experiences that we had in those lifetimes. Because as we evolve, come through our karmic lives, if you believe in karma, some people don't, but
It's one of those things that a lot of people know about it, but a lot don't really know what karma is.
and basically my thought of karma is it's a learning experience. It's those learning experiences that we come from one life and we didn't learn it. We did some pretty crazy stuff and never learned. And so it's not like there's a teacher out there trying to make us learn things, but it's our own blueprint. And this is something a lot of people go, oh, wait a minute. No, I don't believe that. But everything in our lifetime that happens, we orchestrate it. Our higher self has written out a contract for this lifetime to say, okay, these are the experiences that you're going to go through in this lifetime. These are the things that you are led to accomplish or learn how to evolve from it, how to get past that lesson, how to advance through that lesson to go beyond into another lesson. And a lot of times what happens is those lessons get carried from life to life because we're not learning how to get past them. And so those memories from all of that get stored in our physical bodies every lifetime. And until we release that energy, it can cause physical issues. And I'm not talking just physical. I'm talking physical, emotional, mental, spiritual, all of the
every area.
everything.
Yes.
And all of what I'm talking about is dealing with all areas, not just physical areas. So the clearing of the energies is really important because that's the energies that are there right now. But the problem is that with our subconscious thought processes and our belief systems and our programming, we bring that energy back because that was never released and never corrected or retrained. So the subconscious beliefs go back to say, oh, no, you're not worth it. You're not worthy. You're not enough. You're not lovable. And I can clear what's there right this moment. But when we start thinking those thoughts again, and those neurosynaptic loops start going back around and around, that energy then starts to accumulate again. So even though I'm not saying that the healing won't help, but it's not a cure.
I realized that there's healing and there's curing.
Yeah.
Two things can be true, but sometimes only one thing can be true.
Yeah.
And that set me free because I feel like if we go into this and we're helping people to heal, and that's of course our intention, but I would feel bad if they didn't get. And then I thought about this. I said, it's all also perspective because maybe
Very
they
true.
wanted this particular thing, but they really didn't want the cure. And so that was something that kind of bothered me for a while. And then I saw a YouTube video after me, and the girl was talking about it. I was like, no, I know exactly who it was. It was Jerome Braggs. He was talking about it, and he said, you have to realize that you can't go beyond what the people want. If they don't believe that they're going to heal from, say, MS or something like that. They don't believe they can heal from it. They're not going to
Exactly.
do what you do. But people will blame you.
Oh, yeah.
And you go to heal, and you're supposed to have healed him. And look at him. He didn't jump about the chair.
It's not all up to me as the healer. It's up to them as the person with the ailment.
Even it, yes. But yeah, that's something I definitely wanted you to point out because so many people have so many misconceptions. This work that we do. I said, I hope today we were able to dispel some of those myths.
Yes, I hope so too.
So, any last thoughts?
Yeah, I was just thinking about my list. There's a few other things, but basically that's what I deal with is the energies that are surrounding all of that. And again, I touched on nothing at all that I was going to talk about. And
That's how it works. That's how it works. Well,
the
maybe
intention,
what you wanted to talk about wasn't what the people needed.
maybe that's true.
I set the intention that this show touches the people that need it.
Yeah.
The people that need to hear it, the people that need to receive, the people that need to know it, the people that need to call you. And so I set that intention. So
I want to point out, you asked me to, any last thoughts? I want to truly make it understood that without your own intention dispelling any of the energies that might be within your physical body, your mental body, your energetic bodies, your chakras, your spiritual bodies, without your intention of not curing, but changing and evolving out of what you've been so used to doing and so used to understanding as it being just what it's going to be, without the belief that it can happen, and without the intention of your own soul, your own self, to get rid of the ailment or the problem that you have, if you don't do that, it won't go away. It's so important to believe that it can go away with your energy, the change in your frequency, the change in your vibration, and the change in your thought patterns.
that's so perfect. So perfect. So as we prepare to land this plane, I have one question that I ask every single one of my guests, maybe 3 times out of over 300 interviews or more. But the question is, if there was anything in the world that you could change, what would that be and why?
I would have to say vital communication between souls, because not all souls nor human beings know how to communicate truthfully. Many people say what you think the other person wants to hear, or what you believe, your own perceptions of what's going on around you, but it's not necessarily the truth. There are so many people that don't even know how to talk with each other. People at a restaurant, both of them on their phones, not even saying a word to each other. I've even heard that they were texting each other.
At the table?
Oh my goodness. They're sitting across from the person texting them. And I'm like, oh, that's just wrong. If you don't communicate, if you don't talk with each other, whether it's a friend, a person that you're intimate with, it doesn't matter. If you can't communicate truthfully, then we've got more problems than we realize.
I think that would be amazing. And that's the first time I got that answer.
I'm unique.
But it's true though, because that would solve so many problems. I don't even know what the answer to that is because we've gotten so used to those phones. But what I know for me, what I started doing is I just put mine down. I turn it over. You know, I don't answer the phone. Like, not, no. But I had to do that for me. Like,
Yes.
social media, none of that, all of it. And some days, I don't even go on some of
And it's not just the phone. People can be sitting across from each other in the living room and not know what to say to each other. And it's not because they don't have feelings. It's not because they don't have emotions about what's going on. They just don't know how to say it.
I
And
agree.
that's so important to me.
Yeah. I think it feels like a lost art, something that we have to bring back because even when we were younger, you go to your grandparents or auntie or whoever, somebody's house or whatever, you walk in the door and what do? You open your damn mouth and you speak.
Right.
To tell these people these days that kind of stuff. I said, no, you walk in the house, you speak. Now I know I'm from the South. I said, we just think that's just a decent thing to do. You don't walk in somebody's house and don't speak to the person whose house it is.
Right.
No.
Should ask questions. If you're not in the mood or you're not looking as if you're ready to speak, ask questions. Be involved with each other, not just as going out to go get something to eat or whatever. Be involved with each other. Communicate. It's so vital.
It's a lost arts.
Really.
Because I have a child that I might text her and I might hear from her 2 days later, maybe even the next week. I'm wrong. And it's just a text.
Yeah. Yeah.
I call. I know better than
Yes.
so much like I text. You could see the text. You could answer it 24 hours, really.
Yeah.
So, your internet should be okay. For the world, I have learned to just not internalize.
No, you can't. But when you're given the chance to communicate, not necessarily about fighting over whether you get texts or not, just when you get the opportunity to actually talk, you talk and communicate with whatever's going on.
See, and that's the thing that I hope people have caught because so many people now are having problems with their adult children. And they're cutting each other off and blocking them everywhere, the phone, the everything, and all the stuff, and just craziness. And I'm like, what is that even about? And then when you said that communication, I was like, yeah, that is it. Because sometimes things get twisted in a text.
That's right.
People perceive it one way, and you meant it a whole nother way. You had a
Exactly.
so whatever. So then you have to say, okay, wait a minute. Somebody has to be the bigger person.
That's right.
Okay.
And the other thing is hold those that are dear to you close. Whether, well, actually, anybody, it doesn't have to be just somebody that's close to you. And not expect answers. I'm not saying it specifically to you, I'm saying people who say, oh, I'm sorry, I've been so busy, blah, blah, blah. I don't care. I care that now we're communicating. Don't worry about that. I'm
Just glad you saved.
I just want to start back where we left off. Then we get into a conversation for hours and hours about what's been going on. Since I last talked to you. But it's that not holding any kind of grudge or holding any kind of misconception because everybody has their lives. Everybody has things going on.
Yes. And they don't always tell you, so you don't know. But you know because life. Because we know life. And sometimes life's really hard.
Yes. Yeah, it is.
Life's so hard. And you're like, oh my God, here we go.
Yeah.
I totally agree with that. It solves so many problems. I know sometimes you just have to have a conversation. You can't do it any other way. Do you know that people actually even email their family and stuff like that?
Oh, yeah.
Like regularly, not like you're having a thing when it gets together. Not that.
No. Yeah.
Email your mother. Exactly. I said, only if I'm ending or something. I said, but no, regularly, because for one thing. No. Yeah. But yeah, this has been just amazing. This conversation, I believe it went where it needed to go. And I'm just believing that people see your intention and see that they're ready for help, they can reach out. Because the thing is, you have to be ready.
This is true. That's another subject in itself.
I'd be ready because I spoke about myself. You can be an unbelieving believer, but you can also shift that and say, you know what, I'm going to be open to receive.
Exactly.
And that, to me, that's powerful.
Yes.
Annalisa, thank you so much for joining us on Straight Outta Savannah.
Thank you for having me.
I'm so grateful.
Hopefully you'll invite me back.
Absolutely. We'll do it again, definitely.
Okay.
I actually want to do a panel thing, but I just have to get it together. I want to do a panel thing for a few of us, especially for the sanctuary, I thought.
Yes, definitely.
Be a great thing. So we can get on there and do a panel and answer questions, introduce ourselves, and the questions if people have questions or whatever, and move on. And I think that would
Good idea. Yeah.
I'm gonna tell Crystal. Okay. So thank y'all for joining us on Straight Outta Savannah. I hope that you were as enthralled as I was. I'm sitting here doing this interview and I still am feeling buzzy. Fly. That's Annalisa energy. So know that she is definitely a protector of energy, only her own, but yours as well. So again, thank you so much for joining us on Where the Magic Happens.